Good morning, everyone, and thank you for your participation today. My name is Will Zelver, CrowdStrike's Director of Investor Relations. I'm pleased to welcome you to CrowdStrike's 2025 Annual Meeting of Stockholders. Momentarily, CrowdStrike's President, CEO, and member of the board, George Kurtz, will say a few words. George's remarks and any answers to questions may include forward-looking statements. Actual events and results may differ materially from our expectations. We refer you to our SEC filings, including our most recently filed Form 10-Q, for a discussion of risks and factors that could cause our actual results to differ materially from those discussed. We make these statements today, June 18th, 2025, and disclaim any duty to update them except as required by law. CrowdStrike's website also includes reconciliations of any non-GAAP financial measures mentioned today to their corresponding GAAP measures. I'll now turn the meeting to George.
Good morning and welcome to CrowdStrike's 2025 Annual Meeting of Stockholders. I'm George Kurtz, President, CEO, and member of the board of CrowdStrike. I'll be acting as chair of today's meeting. I'd like to provide a few comments before we turn to the business of today's meeting. We released our financial results for the first quarter of fiscal 2026 on June 3rd. You may access those materials, including a replay of the conference call, on CrowdStrike's website under the Investor Relations section. Highlights of CrowdStrike's Q1 FY26 results included net new ARR of $194 million, exceeding expectations, ending ARR of $4.44 billion, up 22% year over year, non-GAAP subscription gross margin of 80%, sustained 97% gross retention and consistently strong net retention, record cash flow from operations of $384 million, and robust non-GAAP free cash flow of $279 million, and added $774 million of total FalconFlex account value, bringing the total deal value of accounts that have adopted FalconFlex to $3.2 billion, growing 31% sequentially and more than 6 times year over year. CrowdStrike is best positioned to protect the workloads, identities, data, and infrastructure for the AI age and the superhuman AI agents themselves. Our FalconFlex subscription model is accelerating platform adoption at a faster pace than we've ever seen before. And our execution is delivering speed and efficiency across the business. These elements together give me confidence and excitement in our future. And it's why the company authorized up to $1 billion in share repurchases, reflecting our confidence in CrowdStrike's long-term strategy, including M&A, growth prospects, and robust cash flow generation capabilities as we scale on the path to $10 billion in ending ARR. Thank you again for joining our annual meeting. I will now turn the meeting over to Kathleen Anderson, our Chief Legal Officer and Corporate Secretary, who will conduct the official portion of today's meeting.
Thank you, George. The meeting will now come to order. In addition to George, the following members of CrowdStrike's Board of Directors are in attendance on this webcast: Gerhard Watzinger, Roxanne Austin, Kerry Davis, Johanna Flower, Samir Gandhi, Dennis O'Leary, Laura Schumacher, and Godfrey Sullivan. Also joining me and Will Zelver from CrowdStrike's management team are Michael Sentonis, our President, Burt Podber, our Chief Financial Officer, JC Herrera, our Chief Human Resources Officer, and Deanna Butler, our VP Legal Corporate, who will record the minutes of today's meeting. Steve Mack from PricewaterhouseCoopers, CrowdStrike's independent registered public accounting firm, is also in attendance. Finally, Kathy Whedon, a representative of Broadridge Financial Solutions, is participating on this webcast and will act as the Inspector of Election for the meeting. She has signed an oath of office, which will be filed with the minutes of this meeting. During the official portion of today's meeting, we will address the meeting proposals described in our proxy statement dated May 6, 2025. After the proposals have been presented, we will take questions related to the proposals through the Broadridge web portal. You must be logged into the portal as a stockholder to submit a question. Stockholders can enter questions during this webcast using the text box in the meeting portal. The rules of conduct that govern today's meeting and any questions asked can be found in the meeting materials section of the web portal. We ask that you abide by these rules to facilitate an orderly meeting. After the polls are closed, the votes will be tabulated and the preliminary results will be announced. We'll then adjourn the meeting. The final results for today's meeting will be reported on a Form 8-K filed with the SEC within 4 business days of this meeting and posted on our website. I have an affidavit of distribution from Joanne Vogel of Broadridge Financial Solutions, our mailing agent, certifying that notice of this meeting was duly given and that a proxy statement or notice of internet availability of proxy materials was mailed to every stockholder of record as of the close of business on the record date of April 25th, 2025. Ms. Whedon has reported that a majority of the total voting power of all shares outstanding and entitled to vote are presented online or by proxy at this meeting. With a quorum being present, we will proceed to the official business of this meeting. It is 8:06 a.m. Pacific, and the polls are now open. If you have already submitted a proxy card, voted by telephone, or voted through the internet, you don't wish to change your vote, you do not need to vote again at today's meeting. Your vote will be cast as you previously instructed. If you have already voted and you wish to change your vote, or if you have not yet voted and you wish to cast a vote now, you may cast your vote online if you are logged into the meeting portal as a stockholder. Moving to the proposals. Today we are considering 2 proposals for stockholder approval. The first proposal is the election of directors. Kerry Davis, George Kurtz, and Laura Schumacher have each been nominated for election as a Class 3 director to serve for a 3-year term expiring at the 2028 annual meeting of stockholders or until their respective successors have been duly elected or qualified, or if sooner, until the director's death, resignation, or removal. The only persons who have been properly nominated are these nominees. The vote required to elect these directors is a plurality of the votes of the shares of our capital stock present in person or represented by proxy at the meeting and entitled to vote on the election of directors, which means that the 3 individuals nominated for election to the board of directors receiving the highest number of 4 votes will be elected. Cumulative voting is not permitted. The board unanimously recommends that stockholders vote for the election of all the nominees. The second proposal is the ratification of the selection of PricewaterhouseCoopers, LLP, as CrowdStrike's independent registered public accounting firm for the fiscal year ending January 31, 2026. The vote required to approve this proposal is a majority of the votes cast on the matter. The board unanimously recommends that stockholders vote for proposal number 2. These 2 proposals are the only matters to be voted on at this meeting. We will now review if there are any questions submitted about the proposals before we close the polls. Will, are there any questions pertaining to the proposals?
Thank you, Kathleen. At this time, there are no questions, so I will pass it back to you.
With Q&A now concluded, it is approximately 8:08 a.m. Pacific, and the polls are now closed for voting. Based on the preliminary report of the Inspector of Election covering the proposals presented at this meeting, the preliminary results are as follows. Each of the 3 nominees has been elected as a Class 3 director, and the proposal to ratify the selection of PricewaterhouseCoopers as CrowdStrike's independent registered public accounting firm for the fiscal year ending January 31, 2026 has been approved. This concludes the official business of the meeting, and the annual meeting is now adjourned. Thank you for your attendance at today's meeting and for your continued support of CrowdStrike.
The meeting has now concluded. Thank you for joining, and have a pleasant day.
The host has ended this call. Goodbye.